Electricast.
There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
McDonald's meets the Minecraft universe with one of 6 collectibles and your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece McNuggets with spicy Nether Flame sauce. Now available with a Minecraft movie meal.
At participating McDonald's for a limited time, a Minecraft movie only in theaters.
Here we are, missing the point. We're ranking the teams 1 through 10. But first, breaking news across the NFL. I am DK Sizzle. I'm here with Mike Marcangelo, the money man. I'm here with the real BK, who will stand up, Bob Kelly. Gentlemen, Davante Adams has been traded. Amari Cooper has been traded. I'm sure there's a team out there in fantasy football that had both of those guys, and there's a huge upside for them because they're both going to better teams. At least Davante's going to a team with a better quarterback. What did you make? We'll start off with the Davante Adams trade. What did you make of the reveal, Mike, where he just popped up on the Pat McAfee show? That show and Aaron Rodgers' appearance on it is like it's like the anti-missing the point, if you ask me. I think we're the opposite of that show in almost every way, including the being on ESPN thing. But the reveal, Davante popping out behind Aaron Rodgers, on the back of Aaron Rodgers, just like blaming Mike Williams for the loss, which was the least surprising thing in the world. The Monday night game to the Buffalo Bills. Give me a little overview of the Jets and what you think Davante coming to that team means for their future, because I don't think that their wide receivers were their only issues.
No, 100%. But before we get into that, just a quick question. Do you think that was a shoot or a work? Like, do you think McAfee was actually surprised that he was right there? Like, he had no idea that
he knew.
was right there?
It was some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my
knew.
life. And I've seen a lot of bad movies. No, he had absolutely no fucking idea. This was him. I'm like, okay, buddy. Yeah, that's great.
I'm a McAfee guy. So that's where we do differ. But
what's appealing to him about you?
Well, first of all, he's a big WWE guy. He's been in the WWE for a while. He's great. I just think you never would see that type of content on ESPN, even if I don't particularly enjoy all of that. I do love the fact that they've gone from like this real big buttoned up approach to kind of more of 2024. And I do like him. I do, as a human and as a color commentator, I do like him.
Yeah, I guess my problem with it is it folds sort of into the whole last 10 years of ESPN and like sort of seeing the fall of what I consider the peak of that channel being, being able to, when we were all in college, which was at the same time, you could wake up in the morning, you could put ESPN on, and you might watch SportsCenter 3 to 4 times that day, but you could watch ESPN all day and it would be fine. Yep. You would have it was like the Disney Channel, but we were, over 15, where you could just put it on and all day there's going to be some sort of content for you. So that fall off, like the glory days of PTI and Around the Horn and those shows just being awesome and really tightly produced and like buttoned up, I enjoyed. So now when you have this sort of like meandering, sort of fill lots and lots of time with just these guys' personalities, I'm just like, do I have to listen to fucking this special teams guy tell me about the NFL? But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not super anti him, other than how hard they platform Aaron Rodgers and the stupid shit that comes out of his mouth on a regular basis, which I think we're on the same page about. But talk to me about the Davante trade. Is that going to turn around the Jets? I don't think that was their issue.
I don't think, but it definitely wasn't their only issue. Their main issue is similar to the Patriots, is that they don't have an offensive line that can protect Aaron Rodgers. And at 40 years old, he needs more time than he probably ever has. However, I don't think objectively you can look at the Jets today and say that they are not better than they were 2 days ago. Right?
Yeah. I mean, any team that gets Davante Adams for sure.
Like Garrett Wilson is now your number 2. So like, that's a pretty, as Bobby would say, like that's one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league.
It
You
is.
know,
I mean, between
So-
Lazard, I like Mike Williams personally. I know Aaron Rodgers
Me
doesn't,
too.
but I like Mike Williams, Lazard, Garrett Wilson, and now Davante Adams. It's just that's I guess my overall point is that's not the issue I identified
No,
with
it's
the New York Jets.
it's coaching in their offensive line for sure, and the fact that for some reason Brees Hall forgot how to run this year. But
he
I
looked
will give
all
you
right.
credit. I hate the Jets.
now it's not
But,
it's
Before hold on, Bobby. Don't you just can't jump off me like that. You have to admire the fact that they realize that they have to be all in with Aaron Rodgers because they think that this might be his last year. So they went out and they got his favorite target ever. So I
he
think
always gets his fucking way. He always gets his way wherever he goes. He always gets his fucking way. Bitch. Fucking coach fired. His friends are here. He's like a parasite. That's what I would compare him to. It's like he reminds me of termites. He just slowly takes over your organization and eats it out from the inside with his fucking kooky conspiracy theories and fucking temper tantrums. But I don't know. Same question to you, Bob. Davante, does he make the Jets the contender everybody thought they were going to be in the offseason?
leave it to the Jets to have 2 weeks in a row where it looks like their season's done and they make a move and all of a sudden they're the talk of the town all over again. 2 weeks in a row.
It still looks like their season's done to me, though. Like that's the thing. I don't know if it's changed. Like I think we'll see some like Davante Adams ball out plays. I think that they'll win. I mean, I guess you could factor in that their division is pretty beat up.
If you look at the AFC, they're really right in there. You look at a team like the Bengals at 2-4.
They're not winning that division. The Bills are winning that division.
Well, yeah, for sure. But you look at the Bengals at 2-4,
So,
and you say the Bengals are out of it. So it's like the Jets, if they could rattle off some wins here, they definitely are still in it. And if
the Bengals didn't just fire their coach, though.
that's very true.
I mean, the Bengals didn't just fire their coach. The Bengals also didn't just get Davante Adams. But I think, the Bengals are an interesting topic, and I would love to touch on that a little bit later. Just like, wow, they really did to us again. They actually started slower and are now heating up again. It really is happening. But as far as the Jets goes, I don't know. It doesn't look right over there. It looks like more sort of, to me, it looks like, and I'm just going to declare this definitively, it looks like a guy who's not as good as he used to be, which is fine, right? I mean, if you're 40, you're not supposed to be as good at football as you used to be. And like Tom Brady was an enigma, and I get that. I think it's a guy who's slowing down, and I think it's a guy who has never probably had to do this, but he's not going to have the character to like say that or own that or like try to make adjustments to be more efficient, even if it's at the expense of like some of his plays. He's going to blame everybody else. And like, that to me is what I'm watching happen in New York. I'm watching Aaron Rodgers say, it's kind of the LeBron thing, but he's not as talented. It's the thing of like, just make the team how I want to make it and I'll win you something. And it's like, he's not going to win you a Super Bowl, guys. Like Aaron Rodgers isn't winning the Super Bowl in New York. That's what I've learned across 6 weeks. So you can go get him Davante Adams, and that's cool. I think they're going to make some plays together in New York, but I just don't think that was what the issue was down there,
What do you think the issue was? Like, what's your number one issue?
I as much as I think this is true, I also don't think he should have been fired. I think Saleh was an issue there because I think he just wasn't winning enough games and had been given like a good amount of time. It seemed like he had the defense going sometimes, but I don't know. Did he lose the whole locker room or did he just lose Aaron Rodgers? Or, I don't know exactly what happened down there word for word, but that was obviously an issue I think an issue they should have addressed in the offseason, though. I think that they should have come into this year with a new coach. I think that was something they should have sort of seen coming if they're going to fire him after 5 weeks. And secondly, I think that O-line, I mean, you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers who I think used to be really crafty in the pocket, but I think you see that he's like not that anymore, despite still, I think, having comparable arm talent at times. He's missing different aspects of his game at his age. And I think you're right to say that they need to give him a little more time to work. I think if I was being really fair to Aaron Rodgers, there was a couple of times his receivers did actually fuck up. That doesn't make me believe that he should be throwing them under the bus in the post-game press conference. I just don't think that's how you should conduct yourself as the team leader. But yeah, I mean, Mike Williams had a bad drop. It wasn't as bad as, like, say, Jacksonville, where, like, you could fire that whole wide receiver room, essentially, with how bad they were over the weekend in London. But they had their moments of kind of fucking up, for sure. And then Rodgers threw a really bad pick. Rodgers threw a really bad pick. If I was really going to sum up what I think the problem is down there, it's a lot to do with what you said. They went all in on 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers. I mean, if he doesn't win them a Super Bowl this year, which that looks unlikely, very unlikely, what did you do to your organization? Like, what are the lasting impacts of that? Because I think they thought they were doing a Tampa Bay. That's what I think they thought they were doing. But I don't think that's what's happening down there because he's not Tom Brady, and for some reason he's been treated like he is for the past 20 years.
I think at this point they're just trying to salvage anything they can at this point. I mean, I don't. Did you really actually think that they think they can win a Super Bowl?
I know they lost a year. I'll give them credit on losing a year. That sucks. Losing a whole year with a guy that age does suck, but it's also the risk you take when you lose that year. So yeah, sorry, go on.
I mean, it's just it's tough to actually think that they think they can actually beat the Chiefs with this team. That's what it comes down to. It's like there's no way that they can actually beat the Chiefs with this team. Davante Adams or not. I think at this point they're just trying to salvage what they can from this season and get anything they can.
I don't think they could beat the Ravens or the Texans either in a playoff type scenario. So, but again, I mean, they're 2-4, and they're bringing in Davante Adams, and that's fine. But are we talking about them even as a playoff team at this point? We'll see. I mean, people were freaking high on them. I'm just saying.
We better hope so for our prediction show, DK, that they make the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, I'll take that one. I'll eat that one. We'll still win. Don't worry about it. It would still make me so happy to see Aaron Rodgers flame out like that. Amari to the Bills. I think this is a more important trade.
Well, you're going that route. You're doing that take.
Yeah. I don't think Amari Cooper is a better wide receiver than Davante Adams. I think he's really good. I think he's made a good Bills team better. And spoiler alert, you think the Bills are the 6th best team in the NFL right now. So they just got Amari Cooper, dude. I mean, talk to me about Amari Cooper. Are you not a fan of his?
I am a big fan of Amari. And
I would imagine you are, considering his career history.
And considering what they gave up for him, too, I mean, first of all, I just want to point out that the Cowboys traded
nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
You mean nothing? They gave up a third and a seventh and got a 6th and Amari Cooper back? Yeah.
Adding into what is their biggest weakness at this point is, I would say, a big upgrade for them. They get back Khalil Shakira this weekend too. So I mean, Josh Allen all of a sudden went from having no weapons to having Amari Cooper and his first round wide receiver back all in 1 week.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think that they had a massive drop off in their kind of 3, 4, 5 wide receiver room positions. I think that there was a few dudes coming out looking kind of crafty. I think it's the kind of offense where you can plug and play to a certain extent skill positions with like how Josh Allen plays. I know he had a bad week last week, but he bounced back. And I think, I'm excited to see Amari Cooper in Buffalo because that is a playoff team. For sure, that's a playoff team. So if he can get in there and start to gel and like be the kind of route runner that I know that he is and be the kind of sure-handed wide receiver that I know that he is, I mean, Mike,
he couldn't catch anything.
We could declare the Bills the winner of that division.
Yeah,
well, I know, but come on, it's Cleveland.
I mean, who was throwing to him? I mean, you got this broken down Deshaun, and then what?
Come on.
I mean, Joe Flacco. But anyway, what I'll say is this: I do agree with you, DK. Like, this is a much better trade in the sense that he elevates everyone else around him on that team. And he's a no-nonsense, like he's not high drama or anything like that. However,
I mean, if he was, he'd be bitching for the last year, I would imagine, in Cleveland.
Right, and he did. But what I will say, though, is that the start that Josh Allen's got off to this year with the 10 touchdowns and no picks, I think that's because he doesn't have faith that he has one of those receivers that can catch anything. So he's being more particular about the balls that he's throwing out there. And now he's got Amari. I think you're going to see a slight increase in interceptions, but that's an explosive offense.
But don't you think Amari is more like, as opposed to like Stephon Diggs, where it's like, he kind of was, I think for a long time that like just put it somewhere, he'll go get it guy, or like you can dump it off to him short and make a play guy. I think Amari's like that kind of crisp route runner that a guy like Josh Allen sort of needs to keep him more disciplined because I think he can get Amari like wide open. Like it's not like, oh, let me put it up where like Amari's going to be in places where he's going to be easy to see. I mean, I guess like to Bobby's point to a certain extent, like I am kind of thinking about Cowboys Amari Cooper, not Cleveland Amari Cooper. I mean, I don't think that the drop off is like should be studied or anything at this point. Like surely he's still the same dude, age, like injury history. It's just the fact that he was in Cleveland. Do you really think he's fallen off, Bob?
I mean, to the point where this year he leads the league. I think he leads the league in drops right now. So
Okay, well that means he got targeted a lot, right? I mean, fantasy owners at the very least should be happy.
I just want to point out though that Bobby, you may be looking at this through your rosy-colored cowboy star glasses, because in his last year in Dallas, he had 1,100 yards. In his first year in Cleveland, he had 1,200 yards. Last year, he had 1,200 yards. Some would say that there's been no fucking drop off.
It might just be
because
Watson.
of Deshaun.
It might just
Watson.
be Watson.
Right, it might just
be Watson.
Like he caught 1,200 yards with PJ Walker and Joe Flacco last year. So
he actually looked pretty good with Flacco. Flacco looked good with him, especially towards the end of the season. I mean, yeah, to me, it's like when quarterbacks are playing bad, they're not just not completing passes. They're also like putting their wide receivers in danger. You know, they're not like reading the routes outside. They're not, you know, I feel like Amari Cooper is probably just going to be like, I'm not catching it. I feel like you could go back in tape and attribute at least some of his drops to like, I'm not fucking catching that just so I can get lit up, which I think was happening a lot on the Cleveland Browns this year, right? I just think it was such a mess that it's like, why am I going in there to die for nothing? You know, like I think you've seen it with Davante. You know, it's like where he's just like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, you're gonna get me fucking killed out here. So, you know, at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. But if I had Amari Cooper, I would be pretty pumped, fantasy wise. Same with Davante.
Yeah, no, I was just making comment. It's a big move for the Bills. It really is.
No, I know. I mean, I know it sucks because you know you used to have the guy.
I am a big Amari fan. I am, and we gave him up. What makes this move even worse is the Cowboys gave him up for a 5th-round pick, and then 2 years later, the Browns got a 3rd-round pick for him. How the fuck do you figure that? How does that make any sense at all? Cowboys are fucking trash.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I honestly thought he should have gone for more personally, but that's just me. All right, well, that's all the big news from this week. We're gonna go into cross-offs. I'm gonna go through the ones that we have crossed off, see if we're worried at all that we need to bring them back. The Jags are a cross-off, and I think remain a cross-off. We'll talk about the Bears a little bit later. Big market tease. Panthers, they are bad. They are now 1-5. They are crossed off. They're not making the playoffs. See you later. We already crossed off the Raiders. They're our only team that's crossed off that's 2-4. They have won more than one game. But Bobby, are you worried? No. They also did not look good, and they just traded away.
Yeah, no, they're crossed off.
So, but Mike, I'm not worried about uncrossing any Raiders in the world, am I?
No.
All right. Well, listen, man. We got to talk about the New England Patriots. They're 1-5.
You want to talk about the Browns?
Yes.
And I talk about the Browns first. No, I'm just.
Didn't we just kind of shit on the Browns for a little bit?
Totally
they're crossed off.
I'm totally joking.
Yeah. I will say, just as a brief aside, just because I don't want to talk about the Eagles too much later, Nick Sirianni is such a stupid asshole for how he reacted to barely beating the fucking Cleveland Browns. Like, that level of unself-awareness is unparalleled.
Do you think, just to touch on that's true, but just touching the Browns, do you think Deshaun Watson is just taking place in torture porn at this point? Are the Browns just letting him out there just to get tortured for the rest of the world to see, just because he's such a scumbag?
That's what it kind of seems like, because it's like, I mean, I guess if I was the Browns and he basically just stopped trying when he got a guaranteed contract, wouldn't you be like, fuck you then?
You have to play. Now
anyway.
We just have to sit out there and look really terrible in front
and
of the
I'm
world.
Taking the O-line out to dinner and being like, I can't wait to pay you guys all bonuses for working half as hard this year. I'm just at a steak dinner as the owner with the O-line being like, oh guys, you just take the year off, honestly. Just have the best time this year. I mean, definitely practice, but I want everyone to focus on staying healthy. Okay, that's what this year is going to be.
No
Take a game off here and there if you want. We're going to buy it off the street. Yeah, no problem, guys. Like, let those D lines know, you know, that you don't want any trouble this year. You let those guys know. It's you're trying to keep your health, wealth, and happiness intact. And if you guys reach a certain sack level, we'll get you a bonus. If he gets sacked a lot, we'll get you a nice bonus. That's what I'd be doing if that fucker had taken me like that. Not injured. No. No. But then again, I mean, he could just at any point be like, I'm hurt. See how that plays out. Let's talk about the
Excuse me.
Pats, Michael. I think remind me of the name of the wide receiver who now actually might be good on that team.
Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas.
Yeah, Demario Douglas. Looking good. Drake Maye. Couple tutties. Couple nice throws. Couple grown-up throws, right? Despite the offensive line issues and all that. The first start, not bad. Looking frisky again. Glad we didn't cross them off. Do you think we still should?
Yeah. So listen, I think right now we should cross off the Patriots. I think they're a safe cross off still. I think they're going to beat the Jaguars. They have to beat the Jaguars. I said to Ray on the other show, like, this is a game where if you beat them, they're going to fire Doug Peterson. My dream scenario would be that you run up the score so much in the first half that they have to bench Trevor Lawrence, and we get to see with our own two eyes Drake Maye versus Mac Jones. And then, like, you get to see, like, people like me who were defending him, saying he's a good quarterback and he can make throws. Drake Maye can do more with the flick of the wrist than Mac Jones can do putting his entire body into it, right? So, but ultimately, listen, they're gonna be a fun team to watch. I think they're gonna be more competitive, but I don't really think that this changes the outcome of the season for them. Like, they're still a 4-win team.
We can't cross them off, Bob, if Mike says they're about to go win. And Drake Maye looks frisky as hell.
Oh.
And Pop Douglas looks good.
I mean, Bob removed someone from the power rankings that won since last week, so you can do whatever you want. Like, there's no fucking rhyme or reason to this.
Okay, we'll get to that when we come to it. I think there's plenty of rhyme or reason. Try not to nunce the whole concept
Mike's just tossing the whole show under the bus right away.
Listen, dear listener, what are you even doing here? You fucking idiot. No, there's plenty of rhyme or reason, or both, perhaps sometimes, but we can talk about that, your issue with the bottom three when we get there. I think it's funny. We can't cross them off. They're about to go win in London.
Interchangeable to me. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, no, I know that the last three, you got to be a little flexible on, Mike. You got to be a little flexible. I think the Jag. Did the Jags just stay in London?
Yeah.
Is that what they did?
They're there for 2 weeks. Yeah.
Wow, they really just are the London team, huh? Even though the Bears turned that fucking place into Soldier Field last Sunday, which I really enjoyed. Okay, great. So no cross off again for the Pats. They've made it 6 weeks. Congratulations to them. The Titans lost to the Colts. Should we cross them off yet, or should we wait another week? They look really bad. I don't want to watch them anymore. I don't want them on my team. Okay, Mike?
So, hold on. Just to be fucking clear here.
I'm the reason that they're still here. I'm aware.
We're not going to cross off the current 1-5 Patriots because they might be 2-5.
They just started a new QB.
But the Colts,
it's a new day.
It's a new season.
But the Colts, who have Joe Flacco filling in for Anthony Richardson, are 3-3. Fuck them. We're gonna cross them off. That doesn't make any sense. They're a better team than the Patriots.
We didn't. No, it was the Titans.
Oh. Are you sure you didn't just say Colts?
I might have misspoke. And I apologize to.
I got really fucking revved up about that. Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the Titans. No. We're talking about the Titans. So just to be clear, sorry about that if that was my fault. We are talking about the Tennessee Titans at 1-4. They just lost to the Colts. I think we can get rid of them.
To the Colts.
Yeah, they lost. Oh, that's what it was. So the Colts are actually in honorable mentions. The Rams, we have to give them a stay of execution because they were on a bye, and also Cooper Kupp is coming back, and then I think probably another 3 weeks or so, and Puka comes back. So we'll see. We'll see with them. I don't want to cross them off yet because, I mean, I like their coach, and if their skill players come back and start playing well, you never know. Broncos are in the cross-off conversation. They did lose. They didn't look good. They probably should be in honorable mentions at this point. I know I've been kind of hating on them a little harder than maybe I should have, which Bobby caught me out on last week. I just think that they're not good. I don't like
along with the 1-4, the 1-5s, like all these teams that are just like at the bottom of the league. Here's the Broncos at 3-3, right smack dab in the middle of it.
I know you're not wrong. It's basically like you make the power rankings and I make the cross off list, and it's I just don't like them.
I think
it was that 10-9 against the Jets. I think it was that 10-9 against the Jets where I was like, I looked at that score, and I looked at the 10 next to the Broncos, and I got reminded of that Tim Tebow era. And I just shuddered. Like, I just got like a full body, like, douche chill from like having to think about that offense ever again.
That beat the
And
Steelers in the divisional round. Is that the
yeah,
or the
but just it
wild
was just so disgusting. Like, it was so anti-football. It was just against everything I stand for. And I just hated it so much. Gave me such a sour taste in my mouth for that organization. And now they're gonna give me a 10-9, and Bo Nix is gonna play the way Bo Nix plays. I'm like, I mean, Bo Nix.
You got to
Come on.
imagine that Sean Payton's gonna try and run up the score against the Saints this week, though. So like they're probably gonna be
so
4-2.
it'll be like 23-10.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask, you think that's a loser leave town match? You think we cross off whoever loses that? Or you don't think we should cross off?
Well, how
Can't cross
long
off
is
the
Derek Carr
Broncos
out
yet
for?
because they're in the AFC playoff race. They're right there. We can't cross them off.
I know.
Oh, you're gonna be 4-3. You're fucking out. Cross you off.
I just want them to be on notice. There's a fucking target on their back because I'm watching how they play football.
Okay,
that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
There's because they're not making the power rankings. All right, I'm not worried about that. They're in my world. They're in hell. They're never getting to heaven. Like, that's for sure true. It's just a matter of how long it takes. The Saints, if the Saints lose to the Broncos, I'm crossing them off. Is that fair enough?
That's fair.
Yes.
Am I the only one that thinks the Cardinals are better than their record?
No, they are better than the record, but they keep getting smoked.
They do keep getting smoked.
No, so they're not better than their fucking record.
I know. I just feel like they're decent.
You want them to be because they should be with Kyler and Marvin Harrison once he's not concussed anymore.
He looked so good in the first 3 weeks, though. He looked so good.
Yeah,
it was fun.
Were they 1-2?
Yeah, they're still only a game back in the division. Yeah. So I mean,
no, they were 2-1. They were 2-1.
Okay.
And then they've lost the last 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
No, they were 2-2. I think 1-2.
Yeah, well, that means they still could have been 2-1 at some point, right? They were 2-2 at some point, but it doesn't matter. It's pedantic at this point. They lost to the Packers, which I think are a pretty decent team. They're playing the Chargers, who are a wait and see team for me. I haven't formed any strong opinions on them yet, so I think we can leave the Cardinals alone for a second. I know that I probably think they're better than they are, but I'm not willing to quite accept that yet. I realize we hadn't talked about the Giants at all, and it's because that's unpleasant. So. I feel like they came up a ton during the offseason because they were on Hard Knocks and like the Saquon thing. And if it was like, if he suits up for the Eagles, I'm going to be really pissed at everybody in this room. But like, then they kind of look like maybe they might be a little bit better than we thought, but then no. Right.
It's
so
funny. Daniel Jones goes from looking like a quarterback who actually might be worth a shit 1 week.
But I told you guys that was because Neighbors was making him look good. Dude.
He did it without Neighbors for 1 week, though. He did it without Neighbors that 1 week.
Yeah,
sure did.
Irrational confidence game. I'm calling that an irrational confidence game. I told you he wasn't. Everyone knows he's not good. We got to stop doing this. We got to stop fucking like every year saying that quarterbacks we know aren't good are good.
I love doing that, though. It's one of my favorite things to do.
I know you were saying Josh Dowds, who's literally in a commercial about being a perennial backup this year. You were crowning him as like the next great thing. And Mike, I thought Mike was going to cut his own fucking jugular. But I know it is fun. It is fun when you do it, but I'm not doing it. I didn't do it with Daniel Jones all year. And now look, here we are. We're 6 weeks in and the fucking, the conventional wisdom has paid off. Right. Anything to say about the Giants, Mike? Just happy that they're languishing.
Only thing I would say is it just proves how good Malik Neighbors is going to be if he can look this good with that asshole throwing him the ball.
Sick.
He's really good.
He's a real number one.
I think it's really cool that this draft class overall, I mean, like the top 15 picks are just all looking good so far for the most part, right? So, like the guards or the tackle that went early. The quarterbacks are obviously, we'll get to those in a little bit. There's heated internet debate about those picking up, which we're part of because here we are. Hello, internet. I sometimes think like, are we still on the radio at Dean College? But no, here we are. We've modernized. Thanks, Craig. The Jets we talked about. All right, Bob. It is Cowboy o'clock.
This is still the cross-off section.
It might be the cross-off section.
I mean, they're flirting with it. They're seeing the cross-off section from across the bar, and they're saying,
and Dak is throwing him the ball. That's what's happening. Dak is throwing the ball right to the crosshops. I've never
Yeah.
been more disappointed with Dak Prescott in my entire life.
Really?
There's
Never?
been
No,
this
let him cook.
this
Let him
is
cook.
this is this is entering bad territory. There's been periods where we've seen Dak Prescott reach MVP levels, where we've seen Dak Prescott reach levels where you're like, is this a guy? But he has consistently been. I don't even want to call him average at this point. He's been below average to bad at most of the season so far. And then you add in the fact that our defense just can't stop a goddamn anything on any part of anything. It's bad right now. It's bad in Dallas.
Mike, say something nice about the Cowboys.
It's a beautiful stadium. CD Lamb might be I honestly think if he's not the best, he's the second best wide receiver in the league because everyone on God's green earth knows the ball's going to him and he still catches 120 passes a year.
That's
like
nice.
that's
That was
good.
nice.
Right?
That was nice. What'd you make of Jerry Jones threatening that guy's job on the radio?
He's just an asshole. And he's just he's a bully.
He
And
is.
I mean, the fact that he just wants to go on there, and when things are really going really good for 3 straight years of 12-5, he's like, oh, we made all these great moves, secured these people, and then when the fucking bottom falls off, he's like, yeah, you can't ask me about that. I'll get someone else to do that. Like seriously,
Like,
Yeah,
this is
no,
my
fuck
this is
that,
my
dude.
propaganda station. That sucks, man. That was a low moment. I don't know if that played.
And for him, that has to be real fucking low for us to say
The
that.
worst part is
Yeah, that's tough.
he they don't make moves. They don't do anything. And he's the GM of the team. And it's like
Right.
they just don't do anything to correct the issues. And then when people call them out on the issues, they act like that's not what the problem is. And that like no one should have any issue whatsoever with what's going on when there's clear holes and clear depth issues on this team. Listen, 3-4 guys get hurt and our defense gives up 50 points to and listen, if the Ravens game, they could have given 50 points that game too. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's pathetic, guys. It's pathetic.
I think you hit the nail on the head. The Cowboys are the most popular team on earth, right? They're the most popular football team. The most people like
money.
the Dallas Cowboys. If that's I mean that's sort of a fact I have in my head. I don't know if that's changed since like somebody told me that many years ago. And they won a lot when I was a kid in my memory. They seemed like a successful team to me. The uniforms look cool. The stadium, the brand new stadium in our lifetime, the big ass fucking stadium, the most modern,
The
biggest,
Jumbotron.
most seats, 108,000 seats, whatever. Insane bananas investment. America, huge, loud, amazing. Dallas Cowboys. They haven't played like that for 20 years. And they've done this dance where they start to look good every few years. They start to look like they really have something, or they really figured something out, or they have like some really cool stars, some really great skill players. They can really put it together. That defense looking young and hungry, like only going to go from strength to strength. I mean, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, do you not turn around to Dan Campbell and just go like, be the defensive coordinator for your
Dan
forever? And Dan Quinn,
yeah.
sorry. Dan Quinn, and go and be the defensive coordinator forever and have like all the money. Like if something's working, they change it. If something's not working, they don't do anything about it. Right? I mean, that seems like mismanagement.
You mean like have Jason Garrett be the head
right.
coach for 10 years for going 8-8 every single year?
Right.
Hindsight being what it is, though, like I instantly.
But they're still doing it, though. Is the thing?
Right.
They're still like we're watching them repeat their same mistakes.
Once Dan Quinn was offered the role in Washington, if I was Jerry, I would have fired Mike McCarthy and just made him the head coach of my team.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, why would you not do that?
Like, just keep him around. And I know that the thing is I was high on him as the coordinator. It's just, to me, it's like that the reason that defense fell apart, a couple of reasons. I mean, key injuries were part of it last year. Micah seeming to get the double team and having a little bit of a sophomore slump. And I think if he was still there, we would see them playing that kind of hard hitting, like speed defense that Bobby and I enjoyed so much, like ball hawking and stuff. And now them playing this like soft underbelly zone thing where, I don't know. It's just like they don't have the personnel for that. It's just like it doesn't like make sense to me. So, it's not how the defense was built. So now I'm looking at them like, can you
like that's the defense that got them in trouble last year in the playoffs? Is that soft underbelly zone?
And they switched it. They switched it like inexplicably. Like in the first game, and it was like, what are you doing?
Now all of a sudden, this is the defense that they're deciding to rest under. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
It reads like McCarthy to me. That reads like dumb McCarthy dumbness. That's what I'm gathering from there. And he should have fucking fired him and hired Bill Belichick in the offseason if you weren't going to do what Mike said, which was actually the best move you could have made. Now, and I agree with the hindsight being what it is because I didn't think of that either. But like, I'm not getting paid a lot of money to fucking do that job, So if I spent all day thinking about what the best move would be, I think I would have come to that.
He's not paying anyone to do that job. He's trying to do it himself when he's fucking 90 years old, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just nothing's.
We need to start banning. We need as a nation, we need a forced retirement.
Nothing's gonna change.
It would be beneficial to force retirement age people at 70, because then you'd never get an older than 70 president. You'd never get an older than 70 GM. It's like, no, it's a labor law. You can't work a 70-plus-year-old man. That poor bastard, he looks like he's dead already. He does. Whenever there's like when I was watching just the photo of him that was next to him on the radio show, as the quote was like getting read on TV, I was like, what is that thing? What is that fucking thing? That is hideous. When you get old, you get old fast. I'm watching Donald Trump do sundowning on fucking stages across the nation. And I'm like, why do I have to look at 70-plus-year-old people in power all the time? Like, can we please? I feel the same way about Joe Biden. The man is 1,000 years old. Can we maybe get some fresh sauce in there? The boomers just won't fucking let go. All right. Rant over. I'm sorry about the Cowboys.
Yeah, they suck, Bobby.
It's pretty pathetic.
Oh, I got so much shit from even having the 3-3 Broncos anywhere near the cross-off list, but we're crossing off the 3-3 Cowboys.
I know it's gonna sound like I'm piling on you, Bobby, and that's probably because I am. But I just want to point out that in our prediction show, I said they made no additions and they lost a coach and they should probably be 9-8. And you looked me dead in the eye and you said, "Fuck you, 13-4."
Hey, my irrational confidence with the Cowboys never dies. All right, it'll never die.
No, it's dead now. What are you talking about? Have you heard yourself the last like 3 weeks?
Yeah, no. What he means is it never dies in August.
Right? In August,
always dies in October.
It's funny you say that because he was crowning Dak the MVP on the second to last power ranking show. He was like, I don't know. I mean, like, let's take a look at the numbers. And it was like, all right, let's see how the playoffs go. Womp womp. Bengals. I think typical Bengals. I think they're actually looking resurgent. I thought the defense looked terrible 2 weeks ago, and they're starting to flirt with looking like they might actually.
Against the Giants, let's pump the brakes.
Sure. But I mean, I'm not. Okay, listen. I'm not saying they're not in the power rankings. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying they got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and they've started slowing the pass. I think it would be foolish to count them out because you. Maybe not this bad. I don't know if they lost 4 games before and come back and become a playoff team. That's a big hill to climb. But I'm not. Are you ready to write them off?
Definitely not.
No, you can't be.
Yeah.
I mean their losses, except to the Patriots, are to all teams that are on the power rankings. They're in the top 10.
Tough sketch because they're a good team coming in.
That North
we'll see. I mean, I think Burrow looks. Tough. Yeah, and the thing I was worried about with them was. I thought Burrow was going to come in with a weird injury because they didn't tell us much last year. And like, that was all very strange. And then it looked like he was playing a little hurt the first couple of weeks, but it seems like he's Joe Burrow again. And like, he's hitting Jamar Chase on these outrageous throws that like they've become undeniable to a certain
always
degree.
Running for 40 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah. I know they're huge. They're huge touchdown plays. So, they're in front of your face again, being the Bengals, and they not too long ago, Bob, were our only hope of dethroning the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, we put all our eggs in the Bengals basket to take Patrick Mahomes off the pedestal in the AFC. And I mean, if they can reach I don't want to make an outrageous statement, because I think probably our only hope right now, if we had to call it, would be the Houston Texans. I don't see the Buffalo Bills beating them. I don't see, the Ravens. We've seen what happens to them in the playoffs. Let's see what the Texans are made of. But like a dark horse, Michael, Joe Burrow riding over into the mist like the Kurgan from Highlander. Is there a possibility that they eke out 9 wins, scrape into the wild card in the AFC, and maybe make a run?
I mean, their next 3 are Browns, Eagles, Raiders.
Win. They
So
could
now
go
you're
2-1.
5-4.
They could go 2-1 there, and they'd still be all right. But if they go 3-0, then you're right. You're 5-4, and we're looking like, we could. They're probably not going to win that division, but right. I mean, it's not as if the Ravens have like streaked away, right? I mean, the Ravens, I
they
think,
started
have looked
0.
good.
They were 0-2, right? So they're 4-2 now,
right?
So since he's only 2 games back,
I mean, that division's good. Don't get me wrong. That division's better than their records, I think, and it's going to be tough. They have to play those teams, but I'm not ready to write them off.
No.
The Falcons are in honorable mentions, everybody, and I think Mike has maybe a bone to pick with Bobby over this because they're not in the power rankings. And I would love to package it because it seemed like you might also have a thing about the Packers, maybe. I don't want to speak for you, but the Bucs are 9th in the power rankings, and you don't think that should be the case?
Yeah, I think it doesn't make any sense to me that the Atlanta Falcons are not in the 9th slot in the power rankings, but the Buccaneers are, even though the Falcons beat the Buccaneers. And I mean, they've had one bad loss all year, and it was week 1 against Pittsburgh, that 18-10 loss. Their only other loss, they lost 22-17 to Kansas City. And Kirk Cousins brought them back in that game.
Kirk didn't look. He looked a little more corpsey, I think, in that first game as well.
He did.
Yeah, 1,000%. So you always talk about how it's about how they look right now and a feeling. In the last 3 weeks, how can you honestly look at the Falcons and say they're not the best team in that division? They're not better than the Buccaneers. They are. They absolutely fucking are. So yes, Bobby,
a 51 piece is a lot of points. I'll say that.
Against who?
I know, but the Saints were in the power rankings a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, then their quarterback died and their wide receiver died. So now they're not. But again, Atlanta beat Tampa, and then they stomped on Carolina. I don't get it. So yes, I think they should be number 9. But Bobby doesn't care what I think.
No, I mean, of course I do. Of course I care what you think. I always have. Much to your chagrin.
Dismay,
yeah. No, I just like DK said, they put up that 50 burger. And I just, like I said, red zone factor has a piece on my rankings. Right now, I just think the Bucs red zone factor is just a little bit higher than the Falcons. The Packers, I understand the argument for. I do understand for the Falcons too. I really do. But not this week.
So just okay. So they were in.
And plus, I love me some Baker Mayfield.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Fine, Bobby. You just highlighted everything that I said 5 minutes ago when I threw the entire thing under the fucking off the rails under the bus. But sure.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't rate Baker Mayfield, but I've already been on record on this show saying that, so I'm not going to rehash that whole old tired argument. What I will say is I probably would put the Falcons in here over the Bucs, but I think it's fine that the Bears are in over the Packers because the Bears, despite having the same record as the Packers, are ahead of them because of the point differential. The Packers, despite being 4-2, are at the bottom of the NFC North, the strongest division in football. Welcome to the strongest division in football.
Just for the record, the Falcons are ahead of the Bucs. Just for the record. Yeah,
correct. I know.
So they probably should be in there. Does anybody have anything to say about the quarterback situation in Indianapolis? before we start the power rankings conversation. Would you put Anthony Richardson back in?
No, you can't.
So I just think right now you got to ride the hot hand. Flacco hasn't been the reason why you've lost any of the games that he's had to come in for. I don't know the severity of Richardson's injury, so like why not just let him heal up? But the one thing I want to just turn this back to the Patriots before we move on. It's insulting to me that we paid Jacoby Brissett $8.2 million and the Colts paid Joe Flacco $2.
Well, especially because Joe Flacco finished the season as like one of the better QBs last season, so it seems kind of obvious. It seems kind of obvious now that you look at it, right?
Definitely keep Flacco in. By the way, he has one of the best quarterback ratings in the league at this point.
And also, what are your goals for the season? I mean, it's the age-old argument we've had it all season about the Pats and Drake Maye. Let Richardson learn how to not be a fucking bonehead in certain situations, which is the thing Flacco hasn't been doing for these kind of golden years seasons that he's come in for. He's just been really professional. He just looks like a pro QB from a bygone era, quite frankly. Like they don't really make him like that anymore. To be honest, you're either great or you fucking suck now. Which I'm sure we'll come on to when we sort of talk about the overreactions of these young QBs that we've seen across 6 weeks. But yeah, all right, I would probably stick with Flacco too, as much as I'd like to see Anthony Richardson in there because I think he's fun. He also he's made some mistakes and let the kid off the hook. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Seahawks, I don't know. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. We'll see if they make a real honorable mentions conversation or a real crosshouse conversation, but I'm rolling past them. Wait and see on the Chargers still. I think they're better under Harbaugh. I think Herbert's looking decent. But again, and their defense is looking, which I think everyone sort of predicted is looking tighter. But again, we got to wait and see on them. It does look like coaching was the issue. Niners, we've discussed them at length about their season from hell. Could they still finish the season with double-digit wins? Yes. Could they start looking like the Niners again? Yes. But, it still has a voodoo about it because, like, you hear that Christian McCaffrey has, like, arthritis in both his ankles. It's like, Jesus, that's good God. I mean, that's just terrible.
Sounds terrible. Sounds
it's
awful.
Just bad. It's not.
What he's going through. So whatever he's going through is not good.
It's a bad read. And actually, on that note, leg break that you pointed out to me, Mike.
So bad
leg break.
Hutchinson's
leg break. The experience of watching it like 3 times, but not seeing what had happened until like you texted and you were like, look bottom right at his leg, and I was like, oh. And it's not funny, honestly. I feel genuinely so fucking bad for the guy. I'm laughing like because I'm so uncomfortable. Terrible injury. I genuinely hope he is okay. Like not just like playing football again. I hope that guy's like life isn't altered from that injury. That's fucking crazy. Yeah.
Like it's bad when while they're still in the game broadcast, they've said he's been taken in for surgery.
Yeah, that's like emergency.
That happened all the same minute.
That's fucking crazy, dude. That's such a freak accident, and I hope his family weren't watching. To be honest, because you don't need to see that shit. But
worse, just as bad as people were comparing it to the Theismann break.
That I think it was worse than the Theismann break. I think it was worse.
But also like the Alex Smith one goes unnoticed, but that almost
what about the Dak one?
Not as bad.
Not as bad. I mean, he slammed his ankle into the ground to try and slam it back into place.
Yeah, that wasn't smart.
Yeah, and then his balls fell off.
The Carson Palmer one always made me a little. A little gross because like I think about that one when they talk about like hitting quarterbacks below the knee, and I'm just, or even punters and stuff. I'm always just like, that's fine that rule exists.
What about the tight end? The tight end that caught it in the corner of the end zone. Who? Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen when he like landed and his whole shit snapped. Yeah, that was fucking gross. Yeah, that was disgusting. There's I can't believe that this podcast is into all the grossest injuries that we can think of. Lawrence Taylor did feel really bad about that Joe Theismann.
I mean, he called for help.
I know. It's like you're so just like, oh my god, that's like the meanest guy in the league, and he's just like, Jesus. You're just like, ugh. Yeah, that was gruesome, dude. That was gruesome. What was your worst ever injury, Mike? We know Bobby's.
Okay, well, I was running on the beach, and I put the brakes on, and the brakes, they worked, and I snapped my
Ooh, that's a
tibia,
tough one.
like
Ooh,
right then
that's a
and
tough
there.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad one for sure. I've had a few, but my worst was I was dicking around with my friend outside the movie theater, and we were like play fighting, and he like accidentally kind of put a little pressure on like my knee when I went to kick him, and for whatever reason, my kneecap just slipped out and was just hanging like down the side of my leg.
Oh.
It was really, really gross. And the worst part about that is it's a dislocation. So it happens again. I did it on my honeymoon.
Yep.
I
And
did
again.
it on my honeymoon. I had to pop it back in myself in a hotel room in fucking Spain, and I just
Yep.
didn't tell Leah about it because I didn't want her to like freak out. But my fucking getting off the plane like 2 days later, my knee was like a watermelon. Bobby, we know yours. You fell off a bridge in Los Angeles and broke your spine. You win. Bobby wins.
Yep. I win.
Bobby wins.
Yeah, that hurt all of us. Felt it from here. Well, on that note, great transition. We're
It's
talking
not a
about the
joke
Chicago
either,
Bears at number
everyone.
10.
It's really...
No, it's not a joke. He really did do that. He was listening to Seal's "I Believe I Can Fly," and he just thought, you know what? No one's ever really put this song to the test.
It's R. Kelly, actually. Funny enough.
Oh, you're right. Actually, that was wrong with me.
And that is funny enough.
I think we could give Seal that song now that we know how bad R. Kelly sucks. We could just like give it to him and put it in his catalog, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't need it though. He's got "Kiss From a Rose." Like that.
I mean, if you
all
write
better, all
Kiss,
better.
my opinion.
it's unbelievable. It's amazing. But if you write "Kiss from a Rose," are you good forever? Are you rich forever? If you're smart,
Yeah.
right? If you're not like a total
He should
dildo,
be.
you're fine. Plus, I'm pretty sure he was married to a supermodel also, and they're very well paid.
Yeah,
But they got divorced, right? Sad but true. All right. Well, this has been Gossip Corner with your hosts of the NFL podcast.
Really glad that we cut the honorable mentions short today. Like we did a really good
Honorable
job
mentions,
condensing
Seal.
that section.
Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
The Bears are at number 10 in the power rankings. Honestly, I couldn't be prouder. Back injuries. I couldn't be prouder. I'm so fucking happy because I just want this on the record. This is just what I'm going to say for a second. I'm not overreacting. I'm not declaring anyone anything. I'm not saying he's going to be anyone or making any comps. What I'm saying declaratively, because I don't care who we've played. I don't give a shit. I'm watching him play quarterback. I know ball. I'm watching the man and his mechanics. I'm watching what he's doing. And I'm watching the best quarterback that's ever played with the Chicago Bears with no hyperbole whatsoever. It is so clear. It is miles clear. And the moments I even saw them in the first 2 weeks, I didn't overreact then, and I'm not going to overreact now. I'm not going to say he's Patrick Mahomes. I'm not even going to say he's going to win us a championship here in Chicago. I'm not even going to say he's going to be the best quarterback in the NFC North in a few months or years or anything.
But you think he will be?
I think he's the best quarterback that's ever lived, but I'm not saying that yet. is what's we have to make sure we keep on balance, right? So I'm very excited, but I'm tamping down expectations. And quite frankly, if you had an opinion on him and Jaden Daniels and Drake Maye and what they were going to be, and your opinion on them was firm before any of them threw a fucking pass in the NFL, even if it turns out to be true in the long run, you weren't right because you were just saying shit. Like that's just you saying shit because you don't know. No one knows, right? If you have an opinion of them after 3 weeks and it's definitive, that's dumb. You're not smart. You haven't been around the block enough times. You haven't seen enough tape on any of them. After 6 weeks, you're just looking for really big major red flags. I think really huge major whopping fucking red flags display themselves by this point. And I just haven't seen those. From Caleb Williams. I think I saw a couple of rookie things that I came on this podcast and I came on the other podcast and said, I think those are little rookie things, holding on to the ball too long. But I think the swing of how quickly he learned, I was not expecting him to do that stuff over the last 2 weeks. I was not expecting him to have the kind of rhythm that he had, deciding to get guys involved, the amount of things he's doing pre-snap, the reads that he's making that are good, the communication with the offensive line. I have watched every Caleb Williams hype video over the last 2 weeks. I've listened to every single second of his mic'd up. I enjoy how the man carries himself. If you were in the internet conversations preseason calling him spicy and alluding to the fact that he might be gay or something, that's completely fine. I watched my quarterback show up dressed like the fucking Candy Man, walk into a stadium in London as the only game on TV and throw 4 fucking tutties, including a great response to a bad pick. A bad pick, but a great response. So I'm here for the 4-2 Bears going into a bye week. I'm here for fucking Caleb Williams. I wouldn't trade him with Jaden Daniels. And as crazy as it might sound, maybe 2 good quarterbacks came out of the top 2 picks, even though that's never, ever happened. I think I'm being reasonable.
I think you're being more than reasonable.
Thank you. Now that I've done that, we're winning the Super Bowl this year. I just want everyone to know that. I was hoping for 9 wins. I asked for 9 wins at the start of the season, which was me being reasonable, and we're now 4-2. And we have a tougher.
You have a tough second half. Yeah, you got a really tough second half of that schedule. But I think 9 wins is obtainable for you guys, and I don't think a playoff berth is out of the question. I mean, I think it's a successful season for the Bears. It's a successful season for the Bears if you guys are playing meaningful games in December, right? If you guys have meaningful games in December, that's a successful season for you guys. If you guys don't make the playoffs,
I'm not swerving off that path. I think we said that in the prediction show, and I'm not going crazy here, but it gets into a little bit more the nitty gritty because it's that, but it's also like I want to see Caleb Williams throw for 4,000 yards. I don't want to be the only team that hasn't had a quarterback do that. I want to see his touchdown to interception ratio looking
such
nice.
A mind-blowing stat.
I know. It's upsetting for me, and I don't even really want to do that.
Well, through a third of the season, if he does exactly what he's done for the next 2/3, he'll finish with 3,998 yards. It's still not 4,000 yards.
Oh my god,
is that true?
I've seen there's on the Bears Reddit. There's like a tracker of what his average needs to be, and he just needs to average now at this point. He just needs to average like 238, which I actually think is pretty achievable for him.
Of course, yeah. Well, because that's because that 93 yard.
Yeah, he's had a couple of tough ones, but I just don't you think like did you guys wake up and watch that game 9:30 your time? Yeah. I mean, what I think is nice. It's kind of like they were the only game on TV, so you guys got to see a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about, like not red zoning it, and like that. I thought that the offensive line looked better coached. They just looked like they kind of got their shit together. Mike, you must be happy about DeAndre Swift and his resurgence. Like he's running they're using him correctly finally. I mean, I don't understand what they were trying to do.
Yeah, he's a scat back. He's a scat back. He can't. He can't.
But that's what our system's designed to use. Like that's what that's what the West Coast zone run offense. That's what you want. And then they were like, "Nah, we're gonna run them north to south." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, well, I don't understand. What are we doing here? It was a really strange couple of first weeks, but and I was really panicking that the coaching staff was had full dementia. Like I really thought that there was like a wave of a dementia virus going around. But yeah, I really do think that they figured it out. And you got to give people a chance. Like Waldron's running a modern offense in Chicago. Said no one ever. I mean, I watched a modern offense in Chicago for the first time in my whole life, in my whole entire life. And we'll see what the next few weeks bring. Like we do have a tough schedule, but like I'm for the first time ever watching compilations of highlights of my quarterback set to like hard rap songs, and it's awesome. So that's exciting for me, at least. He looks crafty in the pocket. His decision making's, I think, getting better week on week, and the fact that he's improving, I think, is just such a good sign. That's not to say, because I'm just going to fold this into the conversation about the Commanders. That's not to say that I'm down on Jaden Daniels and the stuff that he's done, but I think they're very different QBs, and I think deciding anything or crowning anything with him is equally as silly. I mean, I think he's clearly a guy for the future, but like we were all there for Robert Griffin's arrival in that exact same franchise. So like you have to still be a little bit skeptical just naturally. It doesn't mean you're down on the kid, but you have to be skeptical on both these guys because it's like, when has this ever happened? Where we just get this glut of good quarterbacks. Like Drake Maye looks like he might be the guy in New England. Caleb Williams looks like he might be the guy. Jaden Daniels looks like he might be the guy. Like that's never ever true. We all had in our heads that we were like hoping we got the diamond. right? Like it's like hopefully we got
Right.
to Diamond, like hopefully, and then like they were in Denver, like convincing themselves that Bo Nix might be that. But come on, I mean, this is what happens every year, and you're looking at Trevor Lawrence, 2 number 1 picks going head to head. And I'm like, I mean, look what happened to that guy. That guy had elite intangibles. He had elite pocket presence. He had this, he had that. And then, no, he didn't anymore. I mean, Mike's now talking about him possibly getting benched come next week, live on TV. So, I mean, looking at the Commanders, they lost to the Ravens. They didn't look like they didn't belong there. Bob, what did you think of that matchup?
It was the number 1 matchup on Red Zone all week for good reason.
For good reason.
I thought,
good game.
The Ravens. It was a great game. The Ravens, were definitely the better team, but I thought the Commanders at least
which we
showed
said
up.
was going to happen. We said that was going to happen.
The Commanders at least showed up though. They put up a good fight, which for them, considering what we thought coming into the season, is pretty top notch for those Commanders. I mean,
yeah,
Jaden Daniels looks like the truth.
Yeah, you had them at 4 wins
wins.
this year. Right?
Yeah, 4 wins in the prediction show.
Yeah.
Oof.
Jaden Daniels
they
is
have
the
to
truth.
lose out. They have to lose out. It could still happen technically. He is. Would you redraft? Would you switch the picks?
Would you?
No. God,
no. I don't think so though.
No. And if I would, you couldn't waterboard that information out of me at this point. Like, I mean, like even if I wouldn't, but even if I would, you could not waterboard that out of me right now, as it stands right now. Because like, where would I be? I wouldn't get a seat on the team bus. Like, we can't be saying that stuff over here in Chicago. Like, it's crazy. That's absolutely wild. I'm also in Los Angeles, by the way. Yeah.
To go back to the Steelers, are the Steelers about to be the first team ever on the power rankings to switch their quarterbacks?
Why are they doing
that? Happen? I don't know. Is that really about to fucking happen? Are they really about to do that?
I wouldn't do that. Would you?
I wouldn't either. No.
Mike?
Why would they even?
No.
Why are they even considering
Russell Wilson was benched for the last 4 games of last year. He's been hurt all of training camp, and he hasn't played in the first. So this guy has not played a lot of football. And by the way, he wasn't lighting the fucking world on fire last year either.
I think it's a psyop. I think Justin Fields is going to start, and I don't think anyone else is going to see the field at quarterback. I think he's fucking with Justin Fields. I think Tomlin might be fucking with Justin Fields a little, and I think he might be fucking with all of us a lot. And I think that Russell Wilson is not going to start, because why wouldn't you say that? Like, why wouldn't you say that? Like, you're putting them in a position to have to prep for 2 completely different QBs. If they don't dedicate a certain amount of time to Justin Fields, it gives Justin Fields the ability to fucking absolutely torture them. And like, he looks better. I mean, he does. It was a little bit of a bounce back game. They might be kind of bullies against like the worst teams of the world of the league, but I think they're going to go in and beat up on the Jets. So I don't know.
So does that accentuate your point or contradict it?
I think the Jets are bad. I think they're going to go beat up on the Jets.
Right, so they're going to beat up on another.
Yeah, I do, because I mean the thing is there are ways to expose that offense, right? We've seen that, even with Justin Fields in there. But Jalen Warren's coming back. If Cordarrelle gets healthy, that adds another dimension to it. Pickens is fucking annoying me this year, genuinely. Like, he's talking that shit like he's playing like one of the.
What's going on with him?
I mean, he's not doing anything. He's throwing guys on the ground by their face mask, which I hate. Didn't love that play. That was some sore loser shit. He's talking shit about Amon-Ra St. Brown, saying like, oh, he's a slot guy, so they get fed the ball. I play on the outside. I'm like, you play on the outside and you fucking drop the ball and it hits you in the hands all the time. So like, why are you saying anything? Like, close your mouth. And I really wanted them to get Davante, because I think that would have been cool. But they didn't. And maybe they make a move for another wide receiver. I kind of hope they do, because I think that there's a serious dry out potential in that offense if they don't. But defenses still look pretty damn good. I mean, they got to take away a game at least. So, they're going to, I think they're in contention. We're going to see them. They're a playoff team. We're going to see what they're going to do. But the quarterback thing, I mean, it could be disastrous. If you play Russ and he's bad, I guess Tomlin might see something about Fields where like Fields knew he was QB1 in Chicago, and like I don't know how good that was for him as far as like his mentality goes. And I don't know if Tomlin wants to just keep him on his toes, because when it seems like he's playing for his job, he plays like a little bit better. But I think he was making some good throws. I think they're playing to his strengths, and I also think he's 10,000 times more fun to watch than Russell Wilson. So, like, give me a break. I mean, last year, as much as that offense isn't amazing with Justin Fields at QB, they're watchable. This time last year, Bobby was like, I don't want that offense on my TV ever. It's the worst thing I've ever seen, which is fair enough. I mean, that poor kid.
I mean,
what?
Like they went like 5 weeks last year without an
I know,
offensive touchdown.
but Kenny Pickett's not a fucking NFL QB. That's what we were discovering, like as of that time last year, right? And it was like one of the worst offenses ever. And Matt Canada was like presiding over it, and it was like, why isn't he fired yet? It was disastrous. Arthur Smith getting better week on week. It's a watchable offense. I mean, at this point, do you know what we said in the prediction show? I have the paper right here, actually. Do you know what we said for the Steelers?
Yeah, we had them at 9-8.
We had them at 11-6, and that's a
terrifying.
good. I think that's good. I think that puts us in good stead.
We didn't compromise.
No. I mean, we must have. I must have. Well, yeah, I have my.
You must have. What'd you have them?
I had them at 11-6, and we compromised at 11-6. So good compromise.
That's marriage.
That's
folks.
marriage. They're 4-2. They could win 11 games. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You know how they are in their division. They perform really well against good divisional teams all the time. So we'll have to see what happens there. But
so they might lose to Cleveland because they love losing to Cleveland.
Nobody's losing to Cleveland.
Unless they bench Watson.
Yeah, well, then the world's their oyster down there in Cleveland. Who knows? The Bucs we talked about in relation to the Falcons already. I don't know, man. I think the Bills are too high. 6? Do they look that good to you? The past few weeks, I know they beat the Jets, but like
the Amari trade moved them up a little bit. It was them or the Commanders.
It is going to make them better, I think, but there's still flaws in that Bills team that I'd be worried about, and they are going to win their division. So it's not crazy to see them at 6, but the Commanders could be higher than them, and I don't think it'd be crazy.
I think they're by themselves in this tier right here. You know what I mean? They're better than the Commanders.
Well, like the Bears, but
go ahead.
No, they haven't beaten anybody though, Bobby. I mean, the Bills literally have beat the Cardinals, the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Dolphins.
That's actually not great.
That's the game that they killed. They killed Tua in that game. So like that was a Tua-less Dolphins.
But yeah, it started with Tua.
And they got stomped by the Ravens. Like they got stomped out by the Ravens.
And lost to the Texans. Like they haven't beat a good team.
Yeah, we got to keep an eye on them. They might be frauds. They might be fraudulent. We got to put a little button on that.
They just got Amari. They just got Amari.
Yeah, they just got Amari. We got to wait and see, but I think we're going to hand out fraud cards once we start to look at winning teams when we're in the double digits of games played. And, I'm just saying, just watch out, Buffalo. Just watch out.
I think
only team that plays their football in New York. Just, isn't that weird?
Everyone up until this point is possibly frauds. This is where we get to the real contenders. Is top 5. These are the real contenders that could win a Super Bowl. It's just top 5 teams, right?
No, the Vikings are in the top 5. There's no way they're winning a Super Bowl. 0% chance.
All right, so 4 of the 5.
-% chance. And they're 2. So.
I mean, but the Vikings beat the Texans, so you can't you really.
Yeah, but
can't
you start to do that math.
Frauds.
It's like, okay, cool. They've started hot. Sam Darnold's not winning a Super Bowl. I can't accept that. There's no way. No fucking way.
Okay.
Of all the redeemed team QBs, so it's Justin Fields, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Sam Darnold, right? Those 4 players have all been on other teams.
Joe Flacco.
No. I mean, like
Flacco doesn't
drafted as franchise players. Drafted as franchise players, given up on and traded away to be backups and earning like a spot. Essentially, is true of these 4 players, right? Maybe not Baker, whatever, but right around there. The former franchise QB group. Of the 4 of them, who do you can name more than one? Who would you say is going to finish as a top 10 QB?
Baker has a chance,
and then Darnold.
Darnold, no way.
Not Justin Fields. No. And not obviously Carr. I mean, Carr's hurt, but he had a pretty. If we had this, if I asked you that question after week 2.5, you
know what I would have. You know me.
Me too. Me too. I was refusing over it.
I might have been on the Derek Carr train.
Oh yeah. No, you don't
Yeah,
say.
he would have been top 2% of quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the league.
No, I was like, he's going to be Derek Carr against me. Don't worry. I hated it. It made me very uncomfortable when he wasn't being Derek Carr. I'm glad he's himself again. Okay, let's talk about the Ravens real quick because Mike, 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry to say, me and Bobby told you the Ravens were probably going to be 4-2 by this week, and here we are. They looked a lot better than your early hunger to
That
destroy them
offense,
2 weeks ago.
that offense is just ridiculous.
They look pretty crazy good. They look pretty crazy good. Any differences in your opinion since you were last on the show?
No.
Or you still just think they're fraudulent? Fraudulent?
I picked. I picked them at 13-4
Yeah,
in the prediction show.
2 weeks ago, you were just like licking your lips, ready to fucking shit all over them. You were just absolutely just poised and just like Lamar this and they're moving on the ground and you know.
Yeah, listen, but I'm to the point now. Like it's not. I'm sorry to say this, but nothing in the regular season can happen for Lamar, for my opinion of him to change.
But look at
Doesn't
that,
matter what he does.
that big booty backfield they got running in.
But Derrick Henry is a fucking
he's
problem.
He's a problem, dude.
He really is.
I mean,
yeah. But
is he cementing himself as one of the top 5 running backs ever? With what's happening,
5.
He's gonna be up there by the end of this. Think about the longevity of his career. He's a top 10,
top 5.
Maybe top 5.
So
maybe not top 5.
I think I can name 5 running backs in our era that I would take before, as of right now, Derrick Henry.
But even like, I'd still take Walter Payton. You know, like Adrian Peterson.
He's top 5. He's top 5.
Probably Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders.
I think I put AP 1. Personally, I think I put Barry Sanders 2. I think I put Peyton 3. I think I put. It's tough, but do you have to put Emmitt Smith in the top 5 just because of the numbers? All-time. I feel like you kind of do.
Well, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to not.
I'll put him at 4, and then I'll put. I think I probably would put Derrick Henry at 5.
No, you would not.
I can't think of someone who I put above him, like that I would want on my team running. Now it's probably beast mode. I'll take Marshawn Lynch. I'll say Marshawn Lynch. I'll take Marshawn Lynch at 5.
It's so clearly.
I'll take Marshawn Lynch at 5. That's fine.
He's so dominant, though.
I gotta switch Marshawn Lynch and Emmitt Smith. Actually, I need Marshawn Lynch at 4, and I need Emmitt Smith at 5.
Marshawn Lynch just is number 4 ever.
Yeah. I mean, what are we basing it on? Are we basing it on like achievements
or just dominance?
Like, if you hand him the ball, he has a second
dominance.
Super Bowl. If you hand him the ball, he has a second Super Bowl, right? If you,
or in Brady's case, an 8th Super Bowl,
right? If you, I'm talking about like if you put him in the backfield in any era, he dominates, and I think that's still true of today. So, is that still true of Emmitt Smith?
It's Derrick Henry.
Is that still true of Emmitt Smith? Yeah, Derrick Henry's a beast. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's definitely true of Emmitt Smith. He did that in an era where it was harder to run.
You think now he would be like a 3-down back that you would play like still, and he would still hit those numbers, still hit those heights?
I mean, just think about when he was in.
He'd be a pass catching back.
When he was in Arizona, he'd
be a pat,
and he was like in the league for 15 years.
He'd be a pass.
But that's the thing. He did play for like a long time for a running back too. That's like a lot of the why his numbers are his numbers. It's just like I feel like your list is a little fraudulent if you don't put him in there because he has the record. You know.
Yeah.
AP number 1 for me. I just watched
Brown.
Fucking AP run, and I'm like, that's the best guy I've ever seen run. Like I just can't.
But Barry Sanders would be a top 2 running back in any.
That's true too. I mean, he's also he could still be like returning your punts. He could fucking be doing whatever. He'd still be dominating it. He'd be the best player on like any team still. It would be nuts. Yeah, he was fucking great. All right. I think the Lions are the best team in football right now.
Oh, but Aiden Hutchinson going down, dude. That's going to really fucking kill their defense. Like, he was going to be...
Let me rephrase. I think they're the
year.
best offense in football right now. You're right. That absolutely does kill their defense. But I don't think the Cowboys are as bad as just any old offense could have played them that way. You know, I mean, I don't think they're great. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, they got fucking worked by that offense. And you just really saw on display how many weapons that Lions team has. And they definitely really know how to use them. And they're still together as a team.
We're so dumb. We're so dumb. It's Jared Goff. To your the quarterback that was first team gave up on him. He's the best.
Oh yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, he is.
I forgot about it. He was just like he's the prototype of it though, right? He was like first gen. You know, he's like the original alien.
He went to a Super Bowl with this team. Or as you said, he attended a Super Bowl.
It's not even that bad for the other team, right? Because they got a Super Bowl out of the switch. You know, so it's like, I don't know, everybody won. That's cool. Good for him.
Goff's already been to a championship game.
But Goff is, as far as like on the talent rankings, right? Like he's definitely like outplaying his talent level over the last few years, and like the way the offenses and the weapons that he has around him, right? Or do you actually think he's like a top 7 QB?
People put him in top 10. He's top 10.
Top 13.
Yeah, okay. I lean more with Mike. I don't want to go through right now because it'd be boring for the listeners, but I think I could think of 10 better QBs than Jared Goff. But yeah, people do put him top 10. I don't think it's crazy. If anyone puts him top 5, then like I don't want to talk to that person anymore.
We don't. Yeah, he's not top 5.
Yeah, we don't have.
Would you take him over Baker?
Yes,
or would
I
you
would take
Baker over him?
I'd take him over
Baker.
Baker. Yeah, for sure.
I would definitely take Goff for sure. I don't mind Baker Mayfield. I feel like I sound super down on him. I like his like personality, I guess, but
I like his moxie. I like the shit that he's got going on.
But I can just tell that like those two. I think he might be like cock teasing a lot of Tampa Bay fans. You know, he gives me like Jay Cutler vibes in certain like areas that like freaks me out a little bit. You know, where I'm like, I don't know, he might take you to like the edge of the promised land and then just turn around and go home. Which hurt worse. That hurt worse. So yeah, I mean, good for them. Bucks are doing good. Lions look great. I do think that definitely sucks about their defense and one of the better rushers in the game. And I hope he gets well soon. Big divisional game against the Vikings. I'm hoping they hand him their first L because I need parity in that division to just sneak on through. Texans are looking the real deal. CJ Stroud's looking the real deal. Vikings, I think, are frauds. Lions are an NFC team. Vikings are an NFC team. 2 of the NFC North in the top 4. Texans and Chiefs AFC championship game. I'm giving the Texans more of a chance than ever. I'm probably still sending the Chiefs to the Super Bowl, though. But they're looking good.
Yeah.
I wish one time we could send another team besides the Chiefs.
Me to look how they're looking. I mean, what's the guy's name you have, Mike? The wide receiver?
Pop Douglas?
More than that.
No, the guy on your fantasy team that's on the Texans, the giant man. Nico Collins.
Nico?
Yeah, Nico Collins.
Oh yeah.
That guy's a fucking beast. Tank Dell's your number 2 option. He's a fucking beast. Yeah. CJ Stroud looks the business. Looks the absolute business.
Remember, Stephon Diggs is
Nico's out now.
So Tank Dell can't be number 3.
Oh yeah, good point. That sucks. That really stinks. But they have Stephon Diggs, so it's fine. They're gonna be absolutely fine. They're 5-1. They're looking good. The loss to the Texans for the Bears doesn't look as bad the more they win. They're our only hope. They're our only hope in the AFC Championship game, unfortunately, for playing the game.
Just remember, though, TK, sorry to cut you off, but the last time a promising Houston Texan team walked into Arrowhead, Patrick Mahomes literally destabilized their franchise
honestly,
for 4 years.
They didn't go away. If you look at it in the grand scheme of things, they didn't go away for that long. They did not go away from that long.
4 years.
They're back now. They're back to seek revenge. You're right that he did absolutely ruin their franchise, but like, did he do that, or did he just expose? Maybe that's the wrong word, but expose Deshaun Watson.
That's the right word, I think.
Did they just expose Deshaun Watson for who he was, and then they went and really got their guy, and now they're back. I mean, we thought we were going to be talking about the Houston Texans for a decade after what happened to them. That's this God's honest truth. But here we are talking about the Houston Texans as the second best team in the AFC because that's what they look like. Do I think that they're going to beat the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game? If that was to happen tomorrow, do I think the Chiefs would still win? Yes. Is that annoying? Yes. Do I want them to three-peat? No. No, obviously not. Gross. But whoever the Bears see in the Super Bowl this year, I'm ready to take them on. It is what it is. The Vikings play the Lions. Again, this is why I think that the Vikings are fraudulent, because I know what your guys' answer is going to be. Tomorrow, despite injuries, Vikings play the Lions in the NFC Championship game. Who gets in?
Lions.
And yet
Fine.
you have the fucking Vikings at number 2. When you know that they are not good. We are not doing fucking Sam Darnold revisionist history. I'm not doing it. He's not good. Actually, is it good for me if he's good? Because didn't he go to USC?
Yeah, it puts more
Yes.
clout on your quarterback.
Because everybody was like, nobody from
But
UFC is
Mark-
going to be good.
but-
And then if they're both good, that would be good for me, I think. All right, yeah, Sam Darnold. Yes, I'm team Sam Darnold. Let's go, Vikings. Vikings are doing.
Mark Sanchez went to 2 AFC title games, and he was from USC. So I'm not sure if that's the crux of your argument. It's not a good one.
You think Mark Sanchez was a good QB?
No, but
right,
he went
great.
to 2 AFC title games.
Great. That's cool. I'm glad he went there. I don't care about his geography. I didn't care about his fucking QB record. And he's not good. He wasn't good. Come on. If one of those two guys was declared a good quarterback, they would be the first good quarterback from USC. I had to fucking listen to this all offseason about Caleb Williams. And all of a sudden,
Carson Palmer's a good quarterback.
did he go to USC?
Borderline Hall of Famer.
Borderline Hall of Famer? Borderline Hall of
Yes.
Famer is a stretch.
His-
A sad
No,
case,
his- I would
a sad
argue
case
that-
about his leg. I think is the max
Yeah,
for
but
reaching
then-
Carson
But
Palmer.
his no. Look what he did in Arizona. Like he had a great second half of his career after Oakland. He did fine. He's a borderline Hall of Famer.
What is a borderline Hall of Famer?
might actually
What
get
is a
in.
borderline Hall of Famer?
He's close.
How do you
Yeah, he's
determine it?
borderline.
Someone that like maybe shouldn't get in, but you could kind of see like
There's
you
a
know,
case,
like,
you know,
kinda-
maybe. Yeah. I can see it.
It's
If Caleb
not
Williams
as
has a Carson
far away
Palmer
as you're
career,
making it sound.
I should just fucking pack it in now. I should just fucking pack it in right this second. If Caleb Williams is going to be Carson Palmer, if that's his ceiling, I'm done. So if we can talk about Carson Palmer, he had his moments, but come on. Fine. We've done the game. We've done the power rankings. We've done the job. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm excited for another week of football. It's going to be a good one. They flex the Bears game next week to prime time with the Commanders. I think we're gonna know a lot after that week. It's exciting. It's exciting to see Jaden Daniels versus Caleb Williams after these few weeks. That's going to be a marquee game. We'll talk about that next week. Please go and listen to the MTP Boston episode on the same feed. They talk Celtics preview. They talk Patriots. They talk all things Boston related. Please check it out with Mike and Ray. Frequent guests on the show. For myself, DK Sizzle, for the real BK Bob Kelly, for Mike Marcangelo, this has been your Power Rankings. We'll see you next week.
Hi, I'm Sherilyn Fenn from Twin Peaks. What did you do on your last Saturday night?
Did you hear something?
Toilet paper.
There's nada. The reserves have gone dry. People are hoarding it. I should have done that.
They're all out of hand sanitizer at my Target.
Mark, when did you last watch the news?
We are getting reports of forced quarantines in China, Japan, and now Italy.
You're cutting onions in half and putting them around your apartment.
Yes, exactly. It kills the COVID.
Excuse me?
Let's go, get in.
Vamos, rápido.
Have you ever driven one of these?
Never.
I'll drive, ladies.
I've got the keys.
Excuse me, I'm lost. I'm looking for my wife. I got turned around.
Join me, Eric Roberts, Jennifer Elise Cox, and Ed Asner for The Last Saturday Night, an Electrocast podcast. You'll love it. Electrocast. Electrocast.